Good afternoon, Big Brother fans. It is me, Mike, aka BB Gossip. It is Wednesday, July 24th, and it is approximately 3:30 p.m. Big Brother time. That means we're roughly 2.5 hours out from tonight's episode. I hope to have this posted long before then. I had all kinds of technical issues this morning, as some of you have already heard. And so I really didn't get much of a CarCast recorded this morning, and so we'll try to do a little bit more catching up right now. Although, frankly, been kind of quiet, not a ton going on. I'm actually driving home from work. Traffic is not good. Apparently there's some kind of an accident up ahead, so we're kind of driving slow. But gives me the time to be able to glance carefully at my cheat sheet of people, talk about what the heck is going on in the house. More of my thoughts, my rundowns of every house guest. I just finally looked at Razor Skate's list of alliances. There's a lot going on there, things that I wasn't even aware of, and things that I know won't last for very long. But let's talk about, some of this will be a repeat from this morning. Some of it will be new, little of both. We'll give a rundown of the house guests as far as what's going on, and it will be in alphabetical by their first names, because that's how my cheat sheet that I printed out from the BB Live updaters last week is organized. So we'll do Angela first. Still head of household, obviously. Still having all kinds of issues. She is quite in her own head, and she's spending a lot of time talking to herself. Locked up in the head of household room. I did see Lisa make some kind of joke about maybe leaving food outside of her door, like maybe she's been so secluded up there. Watching the spy screen, of course, in the head of household room. The head of household has a video screen that allows them to watch the living room and they can watch the living room and they can watch the kitchen area, and that's really about it if memory serves. It's not like they can watch a ton. And so I thought they used to be able to see the outside too, but I'm not 100% sure of that. So I don't recall them being able to see the outside much lately. So they get very limited views, but they get all kinds of in their own heads when they watch stuff. So now I found out what the traffic jam was. A semi, looks like it caught fire. The front went off the road. Big crunch. Big crunch. All right, so that was the holdup. We've now made it through that, and I have to navigate some traffic here, so bear with me, folks. All right, so anyways, Angela, as I said yesterday, she had a couple of apparent arguments with Lisa. She is the number one target as far as the house probably goes next week. She's going to get. I think she'll be nominated almost no matter who wins head of household. She will be one of the three nominees. She still thinks that Lisa has a power, which Lisa doesn't have a power, and it's just set her in all kinds of bad ways. She really, really wants Matt to get voted out, and I think Matt is going to get voted out, but it's possible, first of all, if Matt wins this competition tomorrow night, then he won't get voted out. Secondly, you never know what could happen between now and tomorrow night, that it could change, but I really do think that he's probably going to get voted out. That's jumping ahead, though, right? So Brooklyn's been kind of active. She is talking with people. I still don't have a real good feel for her. She's not an obvious person in the house yet. I mean, she's there, but she's not one of those that stands out that much. She's kind of in the background doing stuff, talking to people. We'll just have to wait and see what develops with her. I feel like I'm saying some of the same stuff over and over again. I apologize. I'm going to have to start writing down cheat sheets about what the heck is going on in the world. Cam is fairly active with some of the house guests. You've got Cam and Cedric and Chelsea. That was the 3 C's. I think I mentioned them earlier. I couldn't come up with that earlier today. That's the 3 C's I was talking about. They've been doing some, huddling up and talking. That is one of the kind of alliances. So he's actively involved, actively talking to people. I think he's going to do all right so far. So far, my impression on him is that he seems to have a fairly good head on his shoulder, and I think he may get fairly deep into this game. And of course, he can go all the way. I just don't know. But I'm saying he's not one that I'm looking at like, oh, like they're really polarizing. They're going to get voted out quick if possible. I think he's playing fairly smart. Cedric seems to be getting along with lots of people, too. Cedric, I believe, is the youngest in the house, former Marine. He today was just running around with Lee. They both had on the same outfits, and I think they were talking about being twins or doing a twin-like dance or something. Not my cup of tea, but, it kills some time in the house. So they're dressed up. It did seem to me like the house guests were on an inside lockdown, which is kind of what I expected to happen. I think I said yesterday that I thought they'd get put back locked up in the house so that the backyard could start to be prepared for tomorrow night's show. So I believe that's the case. So that's Cedric, again, doing okay. Does have some working on some alliances, some closeness, that kind of thing. Chelsea. She seems to be fairly game ready. She's fairly cutthroat, it sounds like, but she's been kind of laying back. But again, she is talking with Cam, Cedric, others as well. I do think she's got a good head on her shoulders. There was a time that she was also talking with Kenny. I'm not sure how strong she is with that, with Kenny and Matt and them, but she's kind of been there a little bit, but I don't think she's super strong with them. Joseph, actually, apparently, one thing I did catch off of Razor Skate's thing, it has a final 2 with Tucker, so that's a pretty strong combination right there. That could do well. I of course said I liked Tucker going into the house, so I'm happy. I like Joseph going into the house. I'm not too disappointed in that kind of a relationship. We'll see how it works out. Joseph, for some reason, is not close to Matt. Matt does not like Joseph. Matter of fact, I heard Matt say either yesterday or last night that one of the people he would nominate if he wins Head of Household is Matt. And, of course, Angela will be another one. So I think Matt's already got 2 of his nominees picked out if he happens to win Head of Household. Kenny, I talked about Kenny yesterday. Kenny had kind of like thrown in the towel, like, I don't even care. I'm just going to go home. Well, he's gotten over that now, and he's kind of like woke up today in a little bit better attitude, and he is not talking like I'm going to just throw it to Matt. I think he's actually going to try to win it now and does want to stay and play. So he kind of got through that. He and Angela kind of had a bit of a heart-to-heart yesterday, I think it was. The days are starting to blur together, and kind of worked things out a little bit because they'd had a disagreement early, either yesterday or the day before, when Kenny was talking about just quitting. Chemo seems pretty good. Seems to be in pretty good shape. He's got lots of people that are wanting to keep him around. I specifically saw Rabina and Brooklyn talking this morning, and they commented how they thought he was in pretty good shape. They really, when Rabina and Brooklyn were talking, they were talking specifically about how they felt like it was probably going to be Matt going, and then if not Matt, then Kenny. That seemed to be there, which is what I feel. That's kind of my feelings too about it, how it's going to work. So Chemo doing okay, has some alliances working. He is actually part of the alliance that I heard about a couple of days ago, and they solidified it today in the storage room. It is the it's the Anderson Alliance. All right, so the Have Not room kind of looks like it's kind of like Tron, but also kind of people have been comparing it to Matrix, like the Matrix. And in the movie The Matrix, Keanu Reeves' character, his character, I guess, in the actual Matrix when he was, you have to know the movie, was named Anderson, and he's called Mr. Anderson a lot by one of the other characters. So Mr. Anderson is a famous line that people say. So they're calling themselves the Andersons, tying it into the Have Not room. So that would be the Have-Nots, which I think is Cam, Chemo, Quinn, and Tucker. Tucker's the one that came out with the name. he talked with Kimo. I tweeted he talked with Kimo on Monday that was when he came up with the name, and Kimo was like, I like it. So they just solidified it today. They were also talking about maybe bringing Joseph into the mix, but that didn't seem to happen, at least not yet. He may eventually get added on. As far as I know, he is not a part of that alliance, or he's not an add-on to any alliance that includes those four. So that's Kimo and that alliances. Then you got Lee. Lee is, I said yesterday, I posted like an 8-minute video or a 12-minute video of her talking about her ex. So I went and recorded the whole hour's worth of conversation. I mean, it was over the course of an hour. She talked for like 12 minutes about her ex. She's been broken up with him for 5.5 or for a year, but she did date him for 5.5 years. She said they didn't live together when they were dating, but he paid for her apartment. And then apparently he was like breaking up with her, and she's like, you've gotten me used to this lifestyle. You're going to continue to pay for my apartment as long as until my lease is up, and then I can, take care of things. But for right, you set me up, so you're going to finish this out. And apparently he did. And then when her lease was up, she had managed to figure out how to make enough money on her own to pay her own way. And so I guess she stayed in the apartment. Lee is very talkative about her lifestyle, and she doesn't want to go back. In other words, whatever level she's reached in a lifestyle, she doesn't want to have to take steps back and go and do less. Well, that's something I picked up from her. The girl's 26 years old. I mean, she seems to have figured out how to make it work for her, so good for her. But she is very talkative, and she likes to tell stories. Again, she talked it seemed nonstop for an hour, but we only got bits and pieces. If you're interested, go on my timeline. It's there. I clipped it all together last night and posted it, so you can listen to her talk about her ex-boyfriend and his thing where he was on some reality show dating one of the other people, which is what she found out when she, it was like, wait a minute, we're together. Why are you, quote, dating someone on a reality show? Lisa. Lisa is my next name here. Whoa, Lisa. She's a lot, too. Lisa and Angela are a lot. Big Brother Barbecue said he wants to know how much he'd have to pay to get them to be have-nots together. Yeah, that would be interesting. Those two, oil and water, although I would say that I think Angela would still try to make it work, but Lisa wants nothing to do with her. And as I said, Lisa pretty much, if you could break up with a fellow house guest, she kind of broke up with her last night. Like, I don't want to be around you. I don't want you, outside of here. I don't want to be around you here. Just the whole, you're not good for my game kind of a thing. So the two of them are still, I won't say mortal enemies, but they're in a weird place, and it is what it is. I am very sure that if Lisa wins head of household, she's putting Lisa up. Or no, if Lisa wins head of household, she's putting Angela up. But as I said, almost anybody that wins head of household will probably put Angela up, since you've got to put up 3. Mackenzie. Mackenzie's pretty much closest person. Like I said yesterday, I think her closest person is Matt. She did talk to Tucker last night, and Tucker was not being truthful with her. So to me, it's like, I think Tucker thinks he can manipulate Mackenzie. I think Tucker thinks Mackenzie is into him. I don't know if Mackenzie's into anybody in the house. Mackenzie did mention that she was in a relationship before she came in, but she kind of left it hanging. She didn't leave with strings attached. She kind of left it. The guy outside's like, I'm going in for, I don't know what's going to happen. So it's not like she's in there. Not that she's done anything, but even if she did, it wouldn't be like she'd be cheating on her boyfriend, was my sense, because she kind of, cut things off as she left. But anyways, Mackenzie she stays up late with Matt every night. And overnight last night, what I woke up to was a quote that several people quoted, where Matt was like, so you mean you're not into me? Like, or you don't find me attractive? And she's like, no, not really, kind of a thing. So, yeah, it seemed like Matt was kind of like going like, hey, do you find me attractive? And they thought that she would say yes, and she said no. Or that she's not, into him, kind of a thing. So, yeah, that may or may not make the show. But right now, we're not seeing any big showmances developing in the house so far. I haven't seen anything that I thought, well, this is a possibility. Well, that was a likely, that was one that you thought, well, that could happen. But obviously it's not. And people seem to feel like Quinn, we haven't gotten to Quinn yet, but he has an interest in Lee. But Lee's been, as was pointed out by Twitter friend, follower, fellow person that talks about Big Brother, Autumn, there's a lot of people hanging on that Lee is hung on, and so maybe she's just kind of open to trying to start a relationship with several people. I don't think so. I just haven't seen her take any specific interest in anyone in particular. I just know that people felt like Quinn seemed to be a little bit interested, but she's been kind of touchy-feely with several of the guys, but I haven't felt the googly eyes like, oh my God, he's so cute kind of a thing. So something may happen with her and one of the guys, but it hasn't quite gotten there yet. But then back to Mackenzie, I haven't seen any indication from Mackenzie that she's interested in any of the guys. And remember, she talked about she's 6'1", I think, or in heels maybe, or whatever she is. She said she needs a tall guy, and there aren't many tall guys in the house as tall as her kind of a thing. So I could see her just not being into it. But then again, she might be willing to look past that after she's been isolated for a while and gotten to know one of the guys or more of the guys better. All right, so who else? Matt kind of talked about him throughout all of these. Matt is, he thinks he's safe because of the BS, aka Barbershop Alliance, and other reasons, and because people are reassuring him he's not safe. Most of the house is ready to vote him out. He should win the competition, and if he wants to stay, the AI competition. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Could things change between now and tomorrow night? Maybe, but probably aren't going to. Get to Quinn. Quinn seems to have a lot of irons in the fire. He seems to be working. I mentioned that he seemed... no, that wasn't him. It was Joseph that has the final two with Tucker. I do believe I saw some kind of a relationship with Lee, like maybe like have each other's backs kind of a thing. There's alliances, and there's there's like strong bonds and there's somewhat bonds. And I used to, when I would do my maps, I would have like a strong connection and a dotted connection. Kind of like, oh, we're kind of associated, but we're not that tight. Not a final two connection. I would label them, they aren't a final, I don't believe they have a final two. They just have a pretty strong connection thing. So we'll see how Quinn does. Of course, Quinn is in the Mr. Anderson, or the Anderson Alliance. So there is that. He's doing all right. He seems to be okay, other than the fact that he has stupidly told multiple people about his power. That's his problem right now. So I guess he feels really strongly about chemo. I imagine he also regrets telling Angela about his power, because she's proven herself to be a bit of a liability. But I think he did all that before she went off the deep end. Rubina, she's hanging in there. She's still hanging in there. She's not... I haven't seen her do a whole lot, which means it's not that bad, right? She's okay. T-Core, again, the same. She's keeping a pretty low profile. I have seen her, I think, with maybe Cam and Chelsea, maybe the three of them have been talking. Maybe there could be Cedric and I can't remember who the people are, but there has been some discussions and talking with them. Sorry, hitting construction again. So T-Core is working with some people, trying to, but it's very low and quiet right now. Oh, back to Leah real quick. I did see something where Leah was telling Lisa, so sorry to get a little bit convoluted here. Leah was telling Lisa that Kenny had asked her to be in a final two, and she had turned him down. I just am surprised. I'm surprised that Leah would tell that to Lisa. I'm also surprised that Kenny was proposing a final two, or when he did it, if he actually did it. All of it just seems strange and odd given the circumstances, but who knows. Kenny may be grasping, and he may have been asking everyone for a final two. So, but back to T-Core. I think she's going to be okay. She's doing all right, making no major mistakes or anything right now. Playing kind of the middle game and trying to figure out where she needs to align with. That's that. And then finally, Tucker once again. I have no big news on Tucker in the last 24 hours, I don't think. He was, I think I mentioned it. Maybe it wasn't. He was crying yesterday, like he was upstairs in the outside, I think, laying in a chair or something. He was crying like, I got to get to there. I'm going to make it to the end. I'm going to win this. Getting quite all in his feels. So I guess that was something that happened. And I didn't mention this morning. What else? Let me think. We've reached 20 minutes, so we're doing all right. We've talked a lot. Those of you that are hearing this, the show's going to be on. As I said earlier, we're going to have the Power Veto competition. We have nominations. The fallout from the nominations. Then we should see Angela's blow up and the reaction to that. We'll have the drawing for Power Veto players, or if they even show it. We'll have the Power Veto competition. The fallout from that winning, which means we may see. Well, we won't see the Power Veto, right? We won't see the actual fallout from the Power Veto meeting, right? Because the Power Veto meeting is going to happen, and Lisa didn't find out about Matt. Yeah, Matt didn't talk to Lisa. So the fights between Lisa and Angela, all the stuff that's going on between Angela and Lisa, won't be aired until Thursday. Think about that. That started Monday afternoon. And it will not, the only place they can slot it in to show it is Thursday. And what are they doing on Thursday? They're going to have a competition, and then they got to have a live vote. They got to have a fallout from the Power Veto meeting. They don't have, this is the problem, folks. This is the problem. Another competition is going to fill up time on the show. That's going to be at least 5 or 10 minutes on the show that they could have been telling us about the Lisa Angela stuff. It's going to be lost. The Lisa Angela stuff is going to be lost. Yeah. I mean, they may go back and show it on Sunday's show when they're trying to explain why Lisa and Angela are fighting, over the... too many competitions. Too much going on. All right. With that, I'm going to wrap things up, folks. I'm going to go home, try to get some dinner, try to do some work around the house. Because then at 9 o'clock, it will be showtime. And there's this other presidential thing going on that I may tune into, too. Who knows? Politics, the world, who knows? We'll see. But either way, there's a lot going on, so we'll check it out. Plus, the feeds are going on, too. And I will talk to you guys online later tonight, or I'll talk to you all tomorrow or something. And... when I get home, I got to print out my list of patron supporters so I can thank them tomorrow. I'm talking to myself now here. You're getting my mental list of things I got to do. I have to talk to I have to thank my supporters tomorrow. I need to look at Dolfica's alliance chart if she's drawn up one yet. I should almost print that out. I should almost print out Razor Skate's alliance chart so I can kind of look at that and discuss it with you all. That's what I got. That's all I got for now. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Wish you a happy Wednesday evening, and we'll talk tomorrow. See ya.